guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for, sorry, the cat just jumped off me, April 28th, 2019. So, if you guys saw my weekly update from last week, you'll know I had a really off week. This week was better in the way mental health wise, like I was more in being normal, but I still didn't read really normally. I was kind of all over the place, and I didn't read a whole lot a couple of the days. I was too tired, and I just when I got home from work, I just didn't feel like it, and I never had time at work. Work this week was crazy insane for me, so I just didn't have time even on my breaks. Like, I barely got to read on my lunch break because I got interrupted so often. It was kind of sad. So anyway, I'm gonna go through the books that I did finish, the ones that I am in the middle of, and then kind of my plans for the next week, which are really up in the air. So we'll see. So I'm going to first start off with my DNF. And I don't think this is like a surprise. It's mostly because I gave this book another 40 pages, and I just can't do this. And I have DNF'd The Tenant of Wellfell Hall by Anne Bronte. And I don't mean maybe DNF as in forever. Definitely not for this decade. This is a book I might come back to when I have more time or I really want to push through. But right now, my reading is I need to have something that I like, I guess. And I did not get along with this. You know my problems with Gilbert and chapter 14. Well, I got into Helen's diary in the middle of it, and her or journal, and I did not find it compelling, and so I really was at the do I care to read this? I mean, do I want to read this? And I was like, I just don't care. So I put the book down on Sunday night. Maybe Monday. I think I got it through Monday, and then I was just like, yeah, I think I'm done. So this book is going to go back on my shelf. I'm not going to get rid of it at this time. Because again, it's one of those ones where it's a classic, so I would really like to say I'm gonna finish this someday. I don't know if I will. It just might be one of those ones that taunts me. I never finish it. But I did not enjoy this. As I said, I loved Agnes Grey. As I said, it had its flaws too, but it was compelling enough that I read the whole thing, you know. So this just was not, and it didn't spark anything in me to want to read it. I didn't care enough for the characters and their thoughts and actions to make me want to read this book. So this is a DNF for me at this point, and it's kind of sad, but I mean, I said I don't like to DNF classics, but so far the Brontes aren't doing very well by me, I must admit, because there's only a few I like. Only one so far that I've read or two of them that I've liked. I've liked Agnes Grey and Jane Eyre so far, and you know, Emily Bronte and I do not get along. Wuthering Heights has never been a book that I've finished. I've tried 3 times and I'm done. And then now Tenant of Wellfell Hall. So I have a couple of Charlotte Brontes still to read. We'll see when I finally pick one of those up. I'm a little scared now because I think I have her 3 other books, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, so because that was a DNF and I was feeling kind of down on my reading and what I felt like, I of course picked up a reread. So I reread the second book in the other series by Anne Bronte. Not Anne Bronte. God, my main Anne Bishop. It's another Anne. The other series again is an alternate history, urban fantasy with vampires and werewolves, and humans just carve out a little bit of North America and the others control the rest of it, and it's kind of a power struggle, and it's talking about it one community where blood profit comes and how that changes things. So this is book 2, and so which I read in February. So I loved it on the reread. It was fun. I really did enjoy it. Again, you catch all the things that I read, but I didn't realize how important some of those little details would be. And this one definitely was, again, another one where I reread it going, oh, I still love this book. I still love these characters. I do love them. Anyway, so I feel like I forgot something. No. Anyway, so I did read this, but I was also trying to read another book at the same time. I just kind of read this after I got tired, or I attempted another book. So, but I read this for mostly the first half of the week, after I DNF'd The Tenant of Wellfall. I did pick up one of my library books, Lumberjanes, Volume 1. I don't even know who the authors are of this, because it's all written kind of weird. It just has Stevenson, Ellis, Waters, and Allen. I don't know their first names. But anyway, a lot of people have loved this series, and I can see why. So this was not, you know, an all-time new thing, love for me. I don't know if I'm going to get the next one or not. I found this really fun and adventurous. If I was probably 20 years younger, I would love this. Maybe even younger. It was just fun, and I liked all the interactions between the girls and at this camp where their weird things are happening in the woods when they go out. It's just, I liked all that. It was very Scooby-Doo-ish to me in a lot of ways. But it had, you know, all the girls and a lot of rep stuff and all. I really liked it. It's not something that I'm going to rush out and get. If I feel in the mood, I might pick up the next volume. You know, as I said, I don't know if they get better and better. I found it fun. It was just fun. That's all I'm going to say about it. But I'm glad I picked it up and actually tried it, because I had been seeing it for the last couple of years, everybody talking about it, and it was just one I hadn't got around to asking for at my library. So I finally did that. I did have kind of another DNF, but this is a different one. So this is kind of a different, this is not really a DNF, but it's a book, another library book that I took a chance on, and I gave it several days to try to get into it, and it just was not for me. So I tried this Dres by Emily Bitto. She's an Australian author, and this is like, I was trying to do this for Aussie April, and I've been wanting to pick up this book for months. I've been looking for it used and never could find it, and I finally saw it at my library just sitting on the shelf, so I picked it up. I think one day this book I will be ready for it, and I'll want to read it. I like the premise of 1930s, where a young girl meets a family that have a artist retreat kind of thing, or I don't know, like an area, like there's people there, different people and they're all artists, and the girls, the daughters of the famous author or artist who is running it, I guess. And I think what happened is, for me, this started out too, like, I don't know, it was just too nostalgic on certain things, because it's, again, this woman many decades later is looking back at what happened, and something obviously went wrong, because she lost contact with one of the friends, one of the girls that was her friend, but she's still in contact with the other one, and it was kind of weird. It was, I don't know. So, but it was a weird feel to the writing. Was very pretty, and I did like it. It was just too nostalgic for me. Like, it was too, I don't want to say sappy, but it did feel like that to me. I didn't get very far. I totally meant that. So I kind of wanted to just mention this as in, I didn't really DNF this book. This is, again, a book that maybe I'll pick it up at another time, and I won't feel that it was that I don't know, it just felt soft. Like, it was just, I wasn't up for this. And I know it's going to get probably hard-hitting later, and things are going to happen, because obviously something happened, because the women didn't talk anymore. So I don't know what happens, but, you know, maybe it's because they were so young in the beginning. I think they're like 8. And I don't know. They just didn't, I really do want to read. It's been on my list for at least over a year. That has been on my wish list, but I just have never bought it. And now that I've tried it, I'm like, well, maybe if I find it used, I'll pick it up. But I just had to put it down. It was just not working for me this week. So it's kind of sad. I just, you know, but that's what library books are for, or to try things. But we'll see. Anyway, so then I picked up another library book, and it's the one that I was really anticipating. It's one I've been waiting for it to come out. It was one I put off and didn't let myself buy it from Book Depository. I just thought, oh, no, I really just want to get it from the library. I was like number 5 on the list, so I got it pretty soon after it came out. And that was Women Talking by Miriam is it Taves? I think that's what Shawn the Book Maniac said. Anyway, I think it was Taves. Anyway, so I did want to read this book. Again, I've been seeing it since last year, mostly from Shawn the Book Maniac and a couple others who have talked about it. And it has to do with the Mennonite colony in Bolivia. The women were drugged and raped over a long period of time, and then this is based on a true event, but that's fictionalized. And these are these 8 women are meeting to discuss what their action is going to be. Now, the men have gone into the city to retrieve the men by paying the bail, and they're trying to decide if they're going to stay and do nothing, or stay and fight, or leave. So, I really enjoyed this book. I knew it's not something I would normally pick up, and except that I'd heard about it. I think it was really well written. It took me a little while at first to hear the different voices in the characters because, well, she doesn't do quotations, so that always takes me a little bit. That's just my own thing. But I got into that fairly quickly. But again, there are 8 women who are discussing stuff, and one man who is kind of an outsider because he had left the colony at one point and came back. So he's there and he's taking notes because the women can't read or write. So I think you guys have probably all heard about it. I don't know why I'm telling you all that, but I really enjoyed it overall. And it was a fast read. I read this, in 2 days, and I was compelled to finish it Friday night. I stayed up late to finish it because I wanted to see how it all wrapped up. And it didn't wrap up exactly the way I thought it would, which is, it was cool. It was definitely different, but some things I'm like, oh, that's too bad. But other things, it was really well done. It was heartbreaking throughout when you get little details about things that had happened. And there's a character that you never see in this, but you hear about him all the time that I really hated. So that was good too. I don't know. Overall, I really like this. I think you have to be in the right mood for it. I wasn't sure when I picked it up if I was going to be able to read it because my reading has been kind of erratic. But it drew me in pretty quickly, and it was a fast read. And but I think a lot of people should read this, or everybody. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say it's like one of my favorite reads of the year either, but I enjoyed it enough that I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I got it from the library, and that I took a chance on it and I read it. So that's kind of it on that. So, and then that was Friday night. I finished that really late, and then Saturday I kind of went book shopping all day. There was the big library book sale at the Multnomah County Multnomah County Library Sale, which I go to twice a year. So that was in the morning. My brother and I went. That was fun. And then I went to one of the Hillsborough, the Washington County Library, one of the libraries there, the Brookwood location in Hillsborough, had their sale. So I went there, bought a few things. I went to a used bookstore, new and used bookstore that's over in Beaverton called Jan's Paperbacks, and I spent some money there. And then I went to Powell's on Cedar Hills and bought a book there. So my book hauls are gonna be kind of huge this month. I knew that was coming. I knew it, and it happened. So I didn't really read yesterday. By the time I got home, it was after 7, and well, I'd had some time in the middle of the day, and I didn't really read anything. I just watched TV, and then I got home and I fell asleep on the couch. I didn't read anything either. I kept trying like a couple of things. So I tried like the first couple pages of a couple of books, and just nothing clicked with me. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick up next. So I have actually no idea what's gonna happen. I haven't touched my audiobook, so I haven't done that, and I haven't touched the Sylvia Plath book either. Just wasn't this kind of week for it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna read come a couple hours from now. I do have a lot of options sitting on my couch that I want to try. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be kind of up in the air. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So anyway, that's it for now. I should have my May TBR going up here probably tomorrow or so. Tuesday will be my Q&A video, so that'll probably go up at that time because that'll be my BookTube 2-year anniversary. And then I'll try to get out the what do you call it, the book hauls, but you know, we'll see. That might not be till next weekend when I have time to film. We'll see what happens. I have a lot of books. And then, you know, it's just it's just life. Now I'm getting rambly. So anyway, what are you guys reading this week? Anything good? Anything that you think is really great? And anyway, I hope everybody's doing good, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.